Hello, I'm Barry Bryant, and after nearly 35 years in the Royal Navy, I now have the great privilege to be the Director General of Seafarers UK. Why is that a privilege? Because I had many exciting and challenging years at sea, but on the way I saw too many colleagues and their families who were not so lucky. I lost many friends in aircraft accidents, saw a few washed over the side. During the Falklands conflict we lost more, and I helped to pick up merchant seamen from the Atlantic conveyor. I also watched our fishermen combat unbelievable sea conditions off Iceland during the Cod Wars in the 1970s. I've also seen at first hand the effect of the seafaring life on wives, partners and children when the luck runs out. That's why it really is a great privilege for me to run our leading charity for all our seafarers in need. It's our mission, and indeed our passion, to care for those seafarers and their families now and into the future, to support all those who go to sea on our behalf, helping to keep this island nation prosperous and safe. Whatever comes their way, we can help by funding those frontline charities who stand up for them. We give £2.5 million a year, £2.5 million to over 70 such organisations every year, but much more is needed. This film will tell you the stories of just a few of the seafarers and their families who receive that support, and how funding from Seafarers UK has really made a difference to their lives. And that's what charity is all about.
Fishing is Britain's most dangerous occupation. Every year, nearly 70 fishermen are injured or lose their lives getting us the fish we need. Leon Sea fisherman Colin Dolby's family has worked the ocean for generations, but the sea is no respecter of traditions or even of experience. In a freak storm in 2008, Colin became one of fishing's casualties. His widow Jane and her family have to live with that loss every day.
Colin just went to work as usual. I kissed him goodbye, and a freak storm sprung up. Colin's little boat was caught in it, and we never saw him again.
That was when the hard times began for Jane and her family. But within hours of the news that Colin was missing, Tim Jenkins of the Fishermans Mission came to her door. In the 8 months that followed before Colin's body was found, Tim was there to help Jane through every difficulty, from unsympathetic officialdom to simple everyday needs.
Not being able to put food on the table for your children at a time when you're emotionally in pieces just really adds to the distress. And with my hand on my heart, I would say that if it hadn't been for Tim and the Fisherman's Mission, I really don't know how we'd have got through.
Seafarers UK gives £100,000 to help fund the Fisherman's Mission. For the mission, that really matters.
Well, without the support from Seafarers UK, then we at the Fisherman's Mission wouldn't be able to do what we do in supporting our fishermen and their families. So it's incredibly important to us to receive that funding, and it's extremely helpful for the work that we do.
From the time that we lost Colin to the present day, there's been lots of people, individuals, organisations that have helped us. But the Fisherman's Mission has been the glue that's brought it all together, and they've stuck by us.
There are, of course, many ways in which seafarers can be in peril on the sea, and not just from the sea itself. Piracy is once again a menace on the oceans, and its victims need help to cope once they've been freed.
We were crossing the Gulf of Aden on the 8th of May 2010, and we were attacked by a group of pirates. And we were there in the captivity of the Somalian pirates for about 8 months. And we went through a hell of tortures, and it was big trouble for everyone on board, the seafarers and all. And in between, we even lost the hope of our survivals. The tortures were tremendous. And finally, the company paid up the huge amount of ransom to the pirates, and that's how we got released from there.
Seafarers UK helps piracy victims by providing funds that are used to support survivors after they've been freed, adding to the help that was available to Chirag through the ITF, the International Transport Workers Federation.
They really helped us a lot in providing us all kind of social support and emotional support, and there was full backing from them, and that's why we come up, and we are able to come up from this trauma.
Apostleship of the Sea works with piracy survivors like Chirag. They receive funding from Seafarers UK.
Without the support of organisations like Seafarers UK, we would not be able to offer the charitable outreach to seafarers regardless of their faith, nationality or creed.
Chirag is now putting what he has learned to good use as a support worker for the Maritime Piracy Humanitarian Response Programme.
The seafarers should be given a proper counselling after they come back from such trauma, and we were being given that counselling, good treatment, medical treatments we got, the kind of emotional support we got really very helped us in coming out of the trauma.
The Falklands conflict is 3 decades ago now, and many of those who went south to defend the freedom of the islanders to live as they wish are in retirement. For many of them, life isn't easy. We help those seafarers too.
They may be blurry snapshots showing one young man's service in the Falklands War, but for Steve Purvis, who went south in the support vessel Stena Seaspread, they bring back very clear memories.
What really did it for me was our protection vessel. She left us for about an hour to go into Stanley. When she came back, she'd been hit by Exocet, really badly damaged. It was people I'd known on the ship as we'd swapped various things. That's when it really come on to me. I joined the Merchant Navy to sail around the world, deliver cargo, and anything really. I didn't really join to go to war. It wasn't a choice, I was more or less told, but like you do, you do it, and that's just what the Merchant Navy does. We just do it.
This is Mariners Park, a complex for seafarers and their dependents on Merseyside. It's just one of the projects run by Nautilus Welfare, a division of the International Seafarers Union, Nautilus. For them, the support of Seafarers UK is vital.
If you want to expand, if you want to be strategic, if you want to really help seafarers, you need to secure additional funding. It allows you to react more quickly, it enables you to identify need and address that need. Otherwise, these would remain wishes and long-term goals, but we can achieve them more immediately. We can seize the moment because of the funding from organisations like Seafarers UK. So we're extremely grateful for that support, and we hope it will continue into the future because they're doing a great job.
The Merchant Navy, it's an extra force. It's an extra force for Britain. They just they commandeer them, and they just expect us to go. There ain't no questions, they just expect. And that's what we do, we just go.
Even after the guns have fallen silent in any conflict, some veterans still fight a daily battle with flashbacks of harrowing experiences from their service. They deserve help. We're there for them.
I wasn't prepared to see the horrific injuries that I was sustained to. There were an awful lot of casualties coming in who were shot up, but it was I think mainly their colleagues beside them that were panicking, and at the end of the day, a gunshot wound is a gunshot wound. However, when you add on to that pressure on you to do things, it was quite harrowing, really.
Phil McAllister served as a Royal Navy medical assistant in the Second Gulf War. What he endured has left him with a heavy burden to carry, physically and psychologically.
What we see in Phil is typical of what we see in other Gulf veterans, and we experience the same list of symptoms: mental health problems, leading into the physical problems, the aches and the joints, the rashes, the fevers, all the bowel problems. A lot of them also go on to get things like osteoporosis and things like that, which is, for a young group, quite serious. So it's very typical of what we see in all the other Gulf veterans.
Now, Phil isn't just receiving help from the National Gulf Veterans and Families Association, he's helping them in return. not least with those all-important collection boxes. But the association knows how important their Seafarers UK funding is to them too.
Seafarers UK are a great help to us, and they have supported us over a number of years, and that's amazing to us. It helps us to keep those services that we provide to Gulf veterans and the families going, and without it we would have to look at cutting services, not providing as much. So the Seafarers UK are a great help to us.
If I hadn't had the support of the Gulf veterans, I would be stuck at home. My curtains would be drawn, I would be asleep on my settee, and that would be my life.
Here at Seafarers UK, we don't just deal with the consequences of the past. We're also passionate about helping to build Britain's maritime future. That means supporting those working with the next generation of seafarers.
The main reason for me was the sailing. It was I'd driven past here a few times, and I'd seen the sailing and I thought, yeah, I definitely want a piece of that. So I joined Sea Cadets, started sailing.
17-year-old James Halsey is a cadet petty officer in Buxton Sea Cadets.
Sea Cadets definitely builds up your confidence. You also make lots of friends, not just from Buxton, but from around the country. I've got friends from down Plymouth, up Scotland, over in the East Coast. I've got friends everywhere.
It's helped us enormously. I mean, 2 years ago, all our windows in our headquarters were all rotten, and we were looking at a bill for £10,000 to replace them all. And Seafarers UK, through the Sea Cadet organisation, funded all new windows and doors for us. This freed up monies where we could send cadets out doing other things, so that really helped us. It was a big shot in the arm. In some instances it could mean where a unit would shut down if they didn't get this sort of financial support.
It's the teamwork and the friendship. It's a community coming into one. Brilliant, excellent.
These are, of course, just a few of the organisations we support every year. We'd like to help more. Can you help us? We hope so. Our contact details follow in a moment. If you can give us the tools, we promise we'll do the job for the seafarers who do so much for all of us across the oceans of the world. Thank you.